Your flight attendant to her fully upright and locked position. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of SkiP HappEns. A view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphear.
There's Deb up there. How are you, Deb?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
Ready to go? You're ready to go,
ready.
right?
Ready and excited.
Guess who wait a minute. Just sit there and smile, Russell. Hold on a minute, because I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Watch this. Listen. Here we go. Listen.
Every little thing about her love. More than I did, baby, I do. I don't love you like I used to. She likes it when.
Here we go.
Russell Dickerson.
Woo! There he is. How'd you like that, huh?
That was gorgeous.
I bet it was.
Come on.
Welcome. Good to see you again.
Hey, thank y'all for having me. I'm honored to be on here today.
Yeah, well, we're honored to have you. I know we talked just a few days ago. You're on the McGraw tour when they rolled through Syracuse at the Lakeview Amphitheater. That's a beautiful venue, by the way. I don't know if you got a chance to go out and take a look at the lake. Was right behind you and just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, we had the whole meet and greet and everything was set up right out there. So as we're talking to fans, interacting, it's like looking at this beautiful lake. Oh,
and
gorgeous.
The sun, I think we actually had sun that was setting that day.
That was the brightest show we've ever played. I mean, it was like the sun just stayed there.
Yeah,
it was
doesn't happen very often.
Not in Syracuse.
Right.
You lucked out, my friend. You lucked out. It's Russell Dickerson. Man, it's such an honor to have you on. Of course, early in the year, you headed out on your own headlining tour, and you got through that. I know you've been overseas, and I know you're going back again. And now you're on the McGraw tour. How are you doing all this? You got the fam, too. You got Remington. You got your wife, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
You know, it right now is all hands on deck. It's full send right now. So January is when we kicked off headlining tour. Soon as we wrapped that up, like you said, went straight to Europe, got back, got ready for the McGraw tour. And this is our last weekend coming up. And so we got 3 more with Tim McGraw, then CMA Fest, and then summer festival season. And then we're going back to Europe and headlining in October.
I was reading that you're going back in October. So
yeah. So
isn't
I mean,
cool?
dude, this whole year is
after COVID, it's not a bad problem to have.
It's really not, yeah. After coming out of 20 and 21, I am just so grateful to be on a tour bus playing in front of thousands of people every night. So I have no complaints.
Well, you brought the house down here in the Q's. I can tell you that much. It was pretty awesome.
Everybody came off that show reeling. I mean, it was definitely a big standout show.
We had quite the crowd, actually. I mean, I couldn't see. I mean, I was fortunate. I was in the seats, but looking back, it looked like that crowd went way back.
Yeah, I have to tell you, we had close to 12,000 in that amphitheater. So, and that's a good crowd for that place. So.
I was about to say, every night we see the ticket counts of how many people are in the door by the time we start. And by the time we started, there was over 11,000 people in their seats already, which is beautiful.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Definitely a beautiful thing. Oh, man. So you said you only got a few more dates left on the McGraw tour, but let's take you back, if you don't mind. Tell us about the beginning. You got a phone call from Tim McGraw, and you sat there at your table, and you just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I was completely speechless to be talking on the phone with Tim McGraw. It showed up like no caller ID or like restricted. Basically, you should just say someone famous is calling you.
Basically.
And so, yeah, I mean, he literally just got off set of 1883. They just wrapped for the day. And he was like, man, I just want to just let you know how excited I am to have you on tour. And I was like, bro, I want to let you know how excited I am to tour with you. And so yeah, man, it was just like I was just like sweating. It was like,
Yeah, but you've
holy
been
crap.
doing this a while. You are already a star. You've been doing this for a little bit. So, but still you feel like it's McGraw? Holy cow.
Yeah, man. Like if I've listened to more hours of country music, it's Tim McGraw. You know what I mean? So he is like, I love his music so much. So many songs, so many albums,
Yeah.
deep cuts, you know. He's not even playing, like he has so many hits that he leaves
can't
out,
do
like She's My Kind of Rain. He doesn't play I mean Telluride. Like there's so many songs that I wish I could hear. But you know, I just like
Absolutely.
have been so influenced by him.
And I love the fact that you said deep cuts because yeah, you have your hits, but then let's go beyond that. Let's go a little deeper in the album and you can bring out some of those cuts. And it's amazing. And I'm sure it's happened to you too. Something that's not played on radio yet when you're singing it and you see everybody singing it back to you,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good indication that dude, you've hit it. That's
Yeah,
pretty
man.
awesome.
We hit this rare place to get to a point in my career where now, you know, obviously when you're starting out, you got your one song, your first single, and you know, now I'm on my 6th single. So, and we can only play, I think, like 7 or 8 songs. So I'm lucky enough to be able to play 6 hits. And you know, but we do have to fill a couple songs with some album cuts. But you know, like It's About Time for a Drink with featuring Florida Georgia Line. That one goes over great. And a couple other fan favorites. But you know, to have a majority of the set be radio successful songs is, man, I've been waiting on this for so long.
Well, we love it because we could sing along to every song.
Exactly.
Every word, every song. So it's great for us.
Exactly. Who picks? Do you actually decide what you're going to play for your set, or is it the same for every show?
No, my bass player and I sit down. I mean, it's pretty much tour by tour. So if we know we have 50 minutes on the Tim McGraw tour, so we plan out the best freaking 50 minutes that anyone has ever seen in their entire life. But then, you know, we fly to a festival, and so we got to do 75 minutes. So then we sit down, we reconstruct, you know, because songs are kind of ebbing and flowing. Like She Likes It's climbing the charts right now, and as that gains more attention and people know it more, you know, we may, you know, think about where we play it a little later? Do we save it, you know, for this big moment? Or, you know, so my mind is just always turning for live show. Like, how do we put on the best show in country music that anyone's ever seen?
Well, you did it pretty well. I love the fact that when you got on the back riser and you had all the I was going to say smoke, but you know, that was cool, man. And the guitar players, I mean, that's what gets the crowd going. And then they're out there shaking your ass, and the ladies are going nuts.
We got something for everybody.
Deb was standing next to me going, "Oh my God, look at him." I said, "No, Deb, I'll go get it."
Between that and the 6-pack that's hidden underneath your beater shirt there, you know, not a bad gig for a girl, let me tell you.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. But your fans, you know, it's all about the fans, and it's always, you know, one fan at a time, and every show you get more fans, and you just keep growing and growing and growing. And this McGraw tour, I know when Tim came out for the meet and greet, being radio, and of course being back there and hanging out for a little bit, when he walked through those doors, and I went, damn. I said, damn. I said, now I look fat. And then I'm getting a picture with him. Deb and I were back there getting our picture and just hanging out and having a little conversation about 1883 and the music and all that too. And I said, damn, what? I mean, he's nothing but muscle, muscle. There's not an inch of fat on this guy.
I know. Talk about 6-pack underneath. It's that guy. I mean, he's like 0% body fat, and he's jacked, and he's
like
just
there's no tomorrow.
it's awesome. It's inspiring for sure.
You are quite close to that. So you had said
I'm trying.
earlier you work out with some of his workout regimes sometimes. How is that working for you?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I mean, I try to stay fit, and
Mhm. Mhm.
he every day at 3 o'clock. Well, Fridays and Saturdays at 3 o'clock, he does a big group workout. He runs it. He runs everybody through the thing. You got the circuit set up, the weights here, the mats there, the tires over there. It's like, and he just tells you what to do, and we hit 6 rounds of just
Oof.
intensity. And but honestly, I've realized like
Mhm.
that's like our bro time, like
and it's boot camp.
he yeah, but also, that's our time to catch up, talk about last night, talk about the crowd, talk about the show, talk about life,
Mhm.
talk about anything, because um yeah, like that's when we have our,
You're sort of
RD
debriefing. You're debrief.
McGraw
Yeah,
bro
yeah.
time. Yeah.
And
I
it's
love
in
it.
a very relaxed setting. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you go from getting the phone call and going, "Holy shit, I'm on this tour," to being best friends now and out back, lifting the tires and the ropes.
Yeah.
And do you
Yeah.
do the rope? What's the rope? I saw a video where he was
mhm.
Yeah.
flipping the ropes. I'm
Battle
going,
ropes. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Battle ropes, and then you take sledgehammers and just smash a
Oh,
giant truck tire, and it's fun. It's a nice release. It's a nice pump up for the show for sure.
yeah, I'm sure you feel good after doing it too.
Oh yeah.
So jacked, man. Just crazy. Hey, let's talk about the new single. Tell us about that a little bit.
Dude, first of all, one of my favorite songs that I've put out, and it really just came about. The guy we wrote it with, so Jake Scott's on the song as well.
Mhm.
Josh Kerr, they work together all the time, and he posted a song that Jake had just released, and I was like, "Dude, this is fire!" Like, I'm an instant fan of this Jake guy. So I
Mhm.
was like, "Can we write with him? Like, when's he going to be in town? What's the deal?" And he was like, "Dude, he's coming in a month." So he was coming into town, and this was the second song that we wrote together, and and it was just I was like, dude, we got to put this out together. Like my fans will love it, your fans will love it. It's country, but it's pop. It's
Mhm.
both. It's
Mhm.
bluesy guitar, and it's country lyrics. And I was like, dude, we got to do it. And so we came back up to the house. So my studio is literally just right down the hill.
Mhm.
Walk back up to the house, and we walk in the door, and my wife is blasting John Denver while she's making dinner. And I was like, this is God. This
Yeah.
is God shining down on this song because for those who don't know, we mentioned
Mhm.
playing John Denver through the
Mhm.
speakers and all that in the
Mhm.
song.
Mhm.
And I was just like, this is crazy. This is God. I've got chills just talking about it.
Yeah.
And so, man, like I called my record label. I was like, I just want to put this song out. If 5 people hear it, great. If 100 million people hear it, great. So we did just put it out, and then as of like two last week, it was streaming 6.2 million a week, which is a million. That's a million more than my biggest streaming song I've ever had.
I mean, when you see a number like that, what absolutely goes through your mind? Like,
Holy crap.
My heart explodes.
yeah.
Yes, like I'm like beaming from the inside
Mhm.
because it, that feeling of knowing so many people are connecting with this song already. So many people love this song already. And they're not just listening to it once. They're listening to it,
On repeat.
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
over and
Mhm.
over.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
all the playlists that we've gotten, it's been on so many playlists for months and months and months. Just shows that it's not going anywhere, which
Mm-mm.
is great news.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, and then thank you guys for playing it too. And
Oh, absolutely.
this has been my fastest climbing song too. It's like it's Blue Tacoma was my fastest climbing song, and
Mhm.
this song is already 10 weeks ahead of Blue Tacoma. And so
That's
it's
amazing.
I just I'm speechless. Like I'm
Mhm.
so excited with this song coming out.
Wow, just amazing. Can you really take us back to when you first started performing? How old were you? And talk to us about the journey just a little bit.
Yeah, so I transferred to Belmont University where I met Florida Georgia Line,
Mhm.
I met my wife, I met all of our friends. Like that's where my community came from. And I just immediately I had written like 4 songs at the time. I was 20 or 21,
Okay.
and I had 2 songs that I'd written by myself, one that I had co-written, and I was like, "That'll get me through a writer's round," you know? And so I literally started booking. There was a coffee shop right across the street that had a little stage upstairs and
Mhm.
probably held 15 people, and then but only 3 showed up, you know what I mean? And so, I just started building from there, man.
Yeah.
I literally would play anywhere, I don't care, and I still, like, I don't care how many people are there, I'm gonna put on the exact same show, and I just started building from 3 to 5 to 10 to 12 to, playing out, and, a booking agent comes out and sees it, and then they start providing opportunities to play little
Mhm.
festival opening slots here and opening slots there, and really I just never stopped. But so that was 2000. I think I started in probably '08, but I really started grinding about probably 11 or 12, so 10 years.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah, it's
always
about
say that,
right.
the 10-year
Yeah,
town.
I know, and I
How
and
true
people
is that?
said that people said that back when I was in
Mhm.
college, and I
Mhm.
was like, "Not me, dude. Check this out. Watch me." And, here we are
Here we are. But
So,
10
look
years
at
later.
how great the 10th year turned out, and it's up
see,
from
Yeah,
there.
oh my
great.
gosh, back-to-back hits for this guy.
Mhm.
Our midday girl, Marissa, she has spent in Boston and Albany, and she just posted on here that Russell shared his drink with me before the show in Mansfield after our interview, and I'm pretty sure he's why I'm immune to COVID. What? Just kidding. But I love this man. So
I love that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
no, she's awesome. We love Marissa. She's our midday girl. Like I say, you know, she's been a big fan of yours for a long time. But
Yeah.
it's just, when you think about everything you've done, I mean, it's got to be just, you have to pinch yourself every once in a while
Mhm.
because you've
Yeah.
had
Mhm.
hit after hit. You're on tour with McGraw. You've had your own headlining tour. You're performing, overseas. It's like,
Mhm.
damn.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you gotta step out of the grind for a minute and just exactly what you just said, 4 number 1s, on tour with Tim McGraw, selling out, headlining, you know what I mean? Like, you do have to step out because because the grind doesn't stop. It just,
Mhm.
it's day after day after day and build after build, but sometimes there are days where you just like even like today, like, just had
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
quasi day off, and I'm just like, "Man,
Isn't that awesome?
this is beautiful. This is
Mhm.
beautiful."
Do
But
you,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know it was great to have a day off today, but do you get a little bit antsy if you have a couple days at home where you feel like you're itching to get back out again?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, yeah. Our bus is coming tomorrow at noon, so I mean, this is my only day
Mhm.
only day out off, and so we're back straight on the road tomorrow, and I'm just like, "All right, time to shift back into show
Get
mode. I've
back into
gotta
gear.
gotta pack, get my show clothes ready, get my boots on the bus, and do the last weekend of McGraw tour."
Now is Kaylee and Remington going with you?
Yeah, so, I mean, we basically long story short, we basically waited to start a family
Mhm.
until we could have our own family bus, and
Right.
and so, for years, we had the back lounge turned into kind of a master,
Mhm.
like a full bed and everything,
Yep.
and, it was like until one, we can afford it, um, I mean, really, that's what we waited on, and so now, yes, we
That's
have
cool.
me, my wife, and our son, and then either my mom or her mom will come out and kinda nanny, and
Yeah.
'ca
Yeah.
the road gets busy, and so just to
Oh,
make sure that he always has
and he's
somebody there with him,
active.
and
He's an
yeah,
active
oh, he is, yes, yeah,
Well, we saw you.
big
You walked
time.
out with him in your arms
Mhm.
Thursday. He's like, I just brought the kid with me. He's like, he was the
Yeah,
cutest little thing. So
yeah,
he's not
oh,
so
man.
little, dude. He's
Mm-mm.
he's a pretty good
No,
sized baby.
monster, yes. He's a year and a half,
Yeah.
couple months more, and he's 36 pounds, 36 inches, like, off the charts and
It's that
everything.
touring life. He's already
Yep,
got that attitude.
that's right,
You
that's
gotta
right,
love
he's
it.
ready.
And from what I understand, and I know I've heard it, your wife Kaylee, she's got a podcast, Coffee with Kaylee, and you
Hmm.
guys sometimes it's just you and her talking about life.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's cool.
exactly. Every season we try to do an episode together, and she's on season 2, and so we kicked it off together, and just
Cool.
just to catch people up on where we're at and what's going on with our lives. And we got to talk about Tim McGraw and
Mhm.
getting to play Nissan Stadium this year at CMA Fest. Another huge pinch me moment.
It's on the big stage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the big old boy.
Yeah, we're
So
not
yeah,
we're not
dude.
talking about the little stage on the side, and where I mean everybody's got to get their start, and I totally get that. But
Yeah.
now you're the stage.
The stage, I
Mhm.
know. And so yeah, but we just catch up, and Coffee with Kaylee has been such an awesome uh kind of outlet for her to
Mm.
she's such a great conversationalist,
Yes, I've noticed
and
that.
she
She's
pulls the
excellent.
best out of people. Yeah. And so my best friend was just on there. That's one of my favorites. Ben Pospisil, and talks about he was in prison for 4 years,
Oh
and
wow.
just like how he found God there. And
Mhm,
it's I mean, it's so fantastic. Y'all should definitely go check that out.
Hey,
definitely
I have a 13-hour drive next Sunday, so
back
I'll
to
Woo!
be
Nashville.
listening to that from A to
Yes.
Z.
Burn them.
I absolutely will.
What's it like though? You got the whole family on the bus. I imagine what you leave a show and you go all the way back home unless you got one the next night. But what's it like to travel on the bus like that? Is it comfortable? Do you sleep well? What just being an artist, being on the bus, do you get
Mhm.
rest or no?
You get about like 70% rest. Like if the great night's sleep is 100, you get about a 75 is probably the best you can get on the road, because there's the stop and the go and the
Mhm, mhm,
turns and the
mhm,
rumble
mhm.
strips and the bumps in the road. And
You get
so on a great night you get about a 70-ish
yeah. You get a little
percent.
nervous when the driver hits the rumble strips going, "Uh-oh, we fell
Oh
asleep."
yeah, it's like, are we swerving a wreck? Like, are we about to end up on the ceiling? Like, are we gonna flip over?
No,
I
you
would
get a
be
No,
a
trusty
nervous
driver.
yeah,
wreck. I mean,
yeah.
you don't mind driving through the night? Like, do you ever think about bad weather, a deer jumping out on the road, or
These drivers
something?
are pretty good, though. These drivers
Yeah, I
are
mean,
trained to
our driver's been doing it for almost 40 years maybe. He's
mhm,
driven for Willie Nelson, Jamie
mhm.
Johnson, and
Oh, how cool.
I guarantee, like, he is the most trustworthy bus driver out there. And so that helps you sleep better at night,
Mhm.
knowing that he's been doing this for a long time, and
Mhm,
never once has he had a wreck or fall asleep, swerve off the road,
mhm.
whatever.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Let
their
me ask you,
lifestyle. Mhm.
if you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd still be doing this.
Mhm.
I
There's
didn't think
no
of
B
that, but
plan,
dude.
Skip. No B plan.
Oh, no,
Oh
just do it,
man.
man.
No, I mean, I honestly, since I probably was 18 years old, haven't haven't even
Yeah,
thought once about
cool.
quitting or turning back. Or I honestly don't know. Uh, I was just I
You
was
don't
just
know.
I was valeting cars just to pay rent so
Mhm,
that I
mhm.
could go out on the weekends and play shows.
Oh, absolutely.
I I don't know. Maybe I'd be in marketing, so that'd be something
Yeah, I
creative.
know, but you've been doing this so long. I totally get it. Totally
Right,
get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like you gotta think. You're exactly right with that song. You gotta think. If you weren't
yeah.
doing this, what would you be doing?
I'd
Um
still be doing this till I was able to do this.
Mhm. Hey,
Do you do any
there's
covers at all of any of the other artists in your shows?
We I've always been funny about covers, because I've just seen, like, in Nashville, like, there's Broadway,
Mhm.
right? Which is covers
Tourist.
only.
Yep.
And then there's 12th and Porter, there's 3rd and Lindsley, there's Bluebird, there's the
Station
Listening
in.
Room. Yes, Station Inn, where people come to play their artistry.
Mhm.
And I've always been so careful not to sacrifice my artistry for just a quick little crowd pleaser moment, you know?
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
do I play Friends in Low Places every once in a while? Absolutely.
Why not?
Like, yeah, sometimes it needs that. Sometimes that's the vibe. But I like to sprinkle in tastefully, like we do on a song I have called MGNO, My Girls Night Out. We do like Whitney Houston, Dance with Somebody, because it's just like
Well,
going
you
out
did
kind of
that
party
on
song.
Thursday, I think.
Yes.
That went
And
over very well.
that and Shut Up and Dance with Me, and just I like to tastefully sprinkle in a little
No,
cover
that's
every once in
cool.
a while.
And it's cool the way you do it too. That's why I was kind of asking. It gets the crowd going, and they're already going. You're just adding to it.
Yeah,
You just
right.
put a little more fuel on the fire, which is good.
That's
You know,
right.
and I love whenever an artist, a lot of concerts that I go to where we work with the radio station, and for example, the Tim McGraw show, when it comes out like one of the biggest hits, I like it, I love it, and I see the other artists come out as well, and what you guys did, I mean, that is just, you, Brandon, Alexandra, it was just, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. And so actually, to go back to your question, I did in 2021. I did cover I Like It, I Love It, but I played drums. I got on the
What?
drum set, and I had my headset mic on. I'm playing the drums, and we do I Like It, I Love It. So that is, there's some of those songs that are so deep in me that I'm like, okay, we'll do this one for sure.
Yeah. And that leads me to, and Deb, go ahead. I know you're going to ask this question because he was playing the drums, and that's probably just one of many.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that earlier. You play several instruments?
I play a few. Yeah, my first instrument was piano. My mom taught piano all growing up, so she made me take from somebody else, but she definitely made me play piano. And then that and guitar, you can kind of play, you can play a lot of things. You can play bass. I do play a little mandolin.
That's a lot.
There's
And then your drums. And then
and then drums, yes,
then the
yes. I
drums,
played
so-
drums all through high school, yeah.
So, okay.
And going back to the 50-minute thing, the Gottlieb girls, big fans of yours here in Central New York. 50 minutes is not enough.
It's not. I agree. But hey, Tim McGraw's the boss, and
No, I know. And plus, they got time constraints. Everything's on a time schedule. And it's funny that I know you guys pretty much probably can do it with your eyes closed. But when we were just kind of, Deb and I were hanging out backstage with another friend, and he goes, all right, the lights are going to go out in 10, 9, poof.
I know. Boom. They were done.
It's like, you just know that. All right. Yep. Russell's heading out. Yep. Everything is just so perfect.
To the minute. I mean, it's like as soon as 8 o'clock, we have 8 o'clock to 8:50, but as soon as 8 o'clock, lights go down, music starts, and then we're rolling off there. We probably play about 48 and a half. So it's
And do you have a timer up there? I know I've been backstage a lot, and I see a lot of acts do that. They'll have a timer that they can watch, but the audience can't see.
Yeah, our monitor guy.
All
right,
Russell, 5 minutes, Russell, 5 minutes.
Dude, it's like, bro, you're talking too much. Let's go. We got to go.
Well,
I'm bonding with the crowd. Dude.
Well, I was going to say that. What happens if you get going with the crowd and it just happens to work out where they're really interactive and you carry on a minute conversation? Does that mean at the end you have to either cut a song a bit, or do you scratch a song, or are you allowed to go over? What happens if you go over?
Well, so we keep that like 2.5 minute buffer. So if we end early, they're pleased. But if I'm vibing with the crowd and there's lots of interaction and there's some signs, or read some signs, talk, then we got that built-in buffer.
Okay,
that's cool. Well, you got to do what you got to do, because if you don't have any control over it, it could just,
he'd be on there for hours.
When you start playing, you don't want to stop, but something
you do not want
you have to stop. Yeah, no,
exactly.
Hey, Russell, and here's the toughest question probably anybody's ever asked you. All right. In 5 words, describe what you would like the rest of your life to be.
Wow.
Told you.
The rest of my life. Just always driven.
Okay.
driven by something passionate,
Love it.
fulfilling,
Okay. That's 3. I know it's hard.
peaceful,
4. I love it.
and
All right.
say
Okay.
I'm gonna say good dash times.
There you
Good
go.
times.
There you go.
There
See,
you
is that
go.
the toughest
Memories.
question? Memories.
Memories.
Bam.
Memories.
That's it.
There you go.
Memories.
That's it. Exactly. Memories.
Mhm.
Wow. What is just before we let you go here, the lowest point in your career? Do you have one?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say it was right before I mean, so we had yours. I had written yours and we
Which we hear at almost every wedding, by the way.
yeah, love it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It was before we shot the video for that. I'd been turned down by every record label in Nashville. We did a big showcase. I played yours. I think I might have played Blue Tacoma too,
Mhm.
and no one would sign me. And this was like, we were like, for sure we're gonna get signed this time. Like, we
Mhm.
got hits now. And to play this big showcase, every label was there. And then to get the news that no one was gonna offer a contract was just like, dang, like what do I do now? And so,
Yeah.
but that
Wow.
lowest point was the motivating factor for us to go shoot our own music video.
Mhm.
I started my own record label with my manager,
Mhm.
and from there we launched the video. Then it got picked up on satellite, and then that was starting to go, and then the streaming services started playing it and playing it. So that honestly, that lowest point was the either
The
you're
best
gonna do
thing, really.
this
Yeah.
or you're
Yeah,
not
that's
gonna do this.
right. But it was the best thing that ever happened to you. Made you
Mhm.
think, made you realize, it made you say, hey, we need to do something different
Mhm.
because
And
this
and
is what I want to
still
do and I'm not going to let it go.
yeah, and still to this day, like, that is still so motivating to me of, like, I wasn't handed anything in this industry. Like, I've clawed and grinded for every single step of this process to even get a record deal, to
Mhm. Mhm.
being on radio tour, and to getting the single up, my first number 1 up the chart. And,
Mhm.
so then we did sign with Triple Tigers Records, and amazing radio team there. And so it's
Yes,
just like we hit
absolutely.
every step. I mean, just about every station in America, and fly in and drive a Honda Civic acoustic guitar set up in the conference room. And
Mhm.
Mhm.
so
Mhm. Mhm.
it's all of those moments. I was like, I've what do I have to lose now? It's, just
Mhm.
building on that. So, um, no handouts. And I never want handouts. I never want to be overrated. I never want to be any of those things. Like, I'd rather be underrated my entire career than have a bunch of nonsense hype built up around me.
That's what people love about you.
Mhm.
You are just Russell Dickerson. You
Yeah.
are just you. And
Yeah.
that's the best thing. That's the
Yeah.
best thing right there, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no. That and a lot of people have to have that. They should have that attitude. If they don't, hey, they're gonna it's your bread and butter. If you want to be an ass, then
Well,
you're
I
Yeah.
only
think
hurting yourself.
I
So
think there's
Right.
so much more respect from the fans to the artist when you've paved
Mhm.
your way yourself and it wasn't handed to you. Because
Yeah.
everybody we're all
mhm,
hardworking people. Your career is just different than his career,
Mhm.
my career, whatever. And you
Right.
had to, like you said, really grind to get there. And I
Mhm.
just think the stories, I mean, I so appreciate the stories when you
mhm,
hear about the artists, they've slept in their van and they were homeless and
mhm.
someone said they were down to their last $7.42 in their account. And then,
Yeah.
it's like by the grace of God, someone came through and offered them a contract. And you've had
Yeah.
those stepping stones as well. And you appreciate everything you've
Yeah.
earned to
Oh,
this date, right?
absolutely. Yeah. And there after some people, I mean, not I don't know specifics, but people get entitled after a certain point, and
Mm,
well,
mhm,
I'm comfortable now. And
mhm,
so
mhm,
I don't
mhm.
I don't have to do this interview, or I don't have to do
Right.
this
No, exactly.
fly here and do this show that I don't want to do. And I'm like, until and here's the thing is, like, Garth Brooks still does those things,
Mhm.
Hmm.
you know? and he's selling out stadiums 2 nights in a row. Like, until I'm at that point, then like, and I still think I do it because
I was going to say, why would you
I
stop?
love exactly, like, I love telling the story, and I
Mhm.
love, talking to you guys, and I appreciate you guys playing the music, and
Mhm,
there
mhm,
it's just this constant growth that this has to be normal.
Mhm.
Like, this can't be a burden,
mhm,
Right,
like,
mhm.
right.
every interview and every show and everything, like, I just love every aspect. I'm a people person,
I
I
love it.
love human
No,
interaction, and
that's
so I
important
feel like
too.
yeah, I feel like Garth is too, and that's what I admire about him is no, I mean, he's the biggest
Oh,
artist to ever live,
mhm.
and he's still doing it.
It's
And
amazing.
he loves all his fans, so you really know it's
Yes.
coming from the heart with him.
Yeah.
And I was going to touch and say, and at any given moment too, it can be taken away from us, no matter what our
Yeah.
career is, as we saw with COVID. I mean, how do we
Mhm.
know? So it's like while you have it now and you are where you love being, we just enjoy every minute of it, and your family's there to
Every
do it with you.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, that makes it all so much
Yeah.
sweeter.
Yeah,
mhm.
we're not going to keep you much longer here, but I know Remington was born during COVID, so you were able to spend a lot of much needed family time together. Him as a
Mhm.
baby, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So that was a great opportunity. So
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, we grind. I mean,
mhm,
we were in a van, we were in a SUV from 2011 to 2017, I think, for
mhm,
6
mhm,
years.
Wow.
mhm.
And so going from that, and then
Right.
you get the radio success, and the work doesn't stop. So we were going up until COVID, and 2020, I didn't realize was such a much needed break. And
Mhm.
then January 1st, we found out we were pregnant of 2020. And then,
Mm,
March,
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
everything shuts down. And so it's just like, wow,
right.
holy
Now what?
cow. I mean,
It's like, now what?
yeah,
We got a baby
like,
coming and I'm not working.
yeah, yeah.
Now what do we do?
Great. Yeah. No, man,
Yeah,
I mean, there was never a moment where I knew
Right.
God wasn't going to take care of it
right.
all. And, but
Absolutely.
I was like, I kept telling myself the whole year, I was like, just enjoy this time because in a year from now, you're going to be wishing that,
Mhm,
that you had this time off, that you had
mhm,
these days to go on a walk with your wife and
Mhm.
push your brand new baby around the neighborhood. And so there was so many sweet moments that happened in that time.
yeah.
And there's your memories.
There it
That's
is.
it.
The
Memories.
start of your memories.
It's so cool.
Yes.
It's been
So,
Russell Dickerson. It's so good to see you, man. And thanks for coming on here with us tonight. And
Of course.
it's so cool to talk to you outside of, yeah, we saw you backstage and it was a quick hello and you had Remington in
Mhm.
your arms and we knew you were busy, but it was pretty awesome to say hello. But doing this gives us an opportunity to really to chit chat a little bit and find out more about you and
mhm.
each other, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Of
So,
course, man. Of course.
how close are you to Nashville proper? How close are you to downtown?
Probably 12 minutes, I
Oh,
think.
yeah? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
That was a big joke with us this weekend. Everywhere we had to go was 13 minutes. It was like, we're going
Really?
to this
Yeah.
restaurant. Oh, it's 13 minutes. We're
Yeah.
going, well,
Yeah.
12 to 13 minutes. So when you just
Yeah.
said the 12 minutes, I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
really funny because
Yeah.
everything was
Right here.
within the 12 to
Yeah.
13-minute range. So that's a
Hop on the
perfect,
interstate.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
perfect
And
travel time.
are you able to can you go places without people going, "Oh, that's Russell Dickerson," and all that? Can you go to the grocery store and just get what you need to get and people just say, "Hey, Russell, what's up?"
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's cool.
I feel like everybody's super cool here, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's not bombarding by
Right,
any
right.
means. If anybody, they're just like, "Hey, man, love your music, keep doing it." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Thanks,
well, that's
man,
cool.
thank you."
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool.
nice.
Russell Dickerson on Skip Happens tonight. And we always talk about the journey of the artist. As you can see, they start, practically with nothing. And of course, Russell, he's had his 4 number 1s. Yeah, four, right? Four. I'm
yeah,
trying to, yep, four.
yeah.
And another one on the way, I think. And even another one after that. And maybe
Yeah.
Come
even
on,
another one after that. I'm ready for him, man.
me
I say
too,
that as a
me
radio
too.
guy, and I'm saying that
Mhm.
because you keep putting that music out. You're making my job really easy. I'm just
I love
saying.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Russell, on behalf of Deb and I, thanks for checking us out or hanging out with us here on SkiP Happens tonight on the podcast. And I'd love to do this again sometime. Love to see you out and about. And I'm sure we will, because Deb's in Nashville. No kidding. Just about every other day for whatever.
every other week I've been there. Yeah.
I don't know. Deb, you want to explain your business
that
a little
I can
bit?
do that. Well, the Country Music Fan Club is my first business that's out there. So we'll promote all the artists, especially we love promoting the new and up and coming artists. So we have all kinds of people on our fan page watching you right now. And then we have all the SkiP Happens podcast folks watching on their Facebook page, which is great. But also we have audience companies. So we fulfill, if you're ever doing a music video or anything and you need some extras, track me down, because that's my job.
Okay, girl. Okay.
So all good.
Awesome.
So thank you for spending time with us tonight.
Hey, thank you guys so much for having me.
We love you, man.
SkiP Happens, baby.
SkiP Happens. You know what I got to do? I'll send it out to the label, but I have SkiP Happens coffee mugs, and I'll send a bunch to the label. So, unless you have another address, but if you got it, you want to give it to me off air, that's fine. But if not, I'll send it to the label. Make sure you get a mug. So
love it, man. I love it. Right. Thank you guys for having me so much.
Hey, have a good rest of your tour. Enjoy your time with
Rock
Tim,
out.
And I'll see you at CMA Fest, because we'll be there. So I'll be watching your show.
We'll be there.
So
It's Russell Dickerson, everybody. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, Russ.
Guys. Oh, of course. Thank you.
Take care.